Congratulations, you're at the last step of the process, which is probably the most important step and daunting step. Anyway, the interview itself. After filling up the DS-160 scheduling interview, and if you're confused what I mean and how to do that, I have a whole playlist to watch that. But in this video, we're going to look into what the visa officers expect from you, what common questions they ask, how to answer them, and what documents to carry. Let's go. Let's visit the process in the eyes of a US visa officer, because US university just gave you an acceptance. They want you there. Why would the government interfere in this process? Why would they not allow you? So what do the visa officers actually look for? What do they actually want? More or less, considering everything, there's one unique and one main thing that they're searching for and they are looking for, is they're trying to figure out whether or not you will settle once you've finished your education. The one simple thing that they try to figure out is if you have any intention of settling down in the US right now, or if you will probably have an intention in the future. That's literally the only thing that they're figuring out. Let's forget anything else. That's the main thing that they want to figure out. Any and all questions that they ask always revolves around that statement, always revolves around them figuring it out. So keep that in mind. Now, some visa officers are friendlier than the others. Some visa officers will literally gossip with you and say how their colleague or how their friend went to the same university that you applied to, how that state is amazing, and how that visa officer actually went to that state once. Some visa officers are amazing. There's the one particular visa officer like this in Dhaka who is absolutely amazing. Kudos to you. And there are many others in Dhaka as well. Some are not so friendly. They tend to reject a lot of visas. If you are not confident enough, they will reject you. So it's very tough. It depends on your luck, how you answer questions, but always prepare yourself in the best way possible. Now, what questions do visa officers ask? There are a trifecta of questions that they usually ask. The first is relatively simple. It's why do you want to go to X college? So let's assume you got admitted to UT Dallas and you will be going there. The question is simple. Why did you choose UT Dallas as over thousands of other universities in the US? So you have to give a personalized answer that is personalized for you. Now, a very important thing to note about this answer is that it's very easy to get bogged down into very normal details, such as I want to go to UT Dallas because it's a tier 1 research school and is very high ranked and is very reputable for CS. If you answer only this, the problem is that the same line, the same explanation, the same answer can be said for almost any university in the world. You can literally replace UT Dallas with, say, I don't know, UT Arlington or even Harvard, and it would still remain the same. So you have to go a bit deep down. What specifically actually enticed you about UT Dallas? What is it? Maybe it's the campus. Maybe it's the professors who are very amazing. Maybe it's one individual professor who you absolutely loved. Go deep. Go to their website. Think and make an answer that is very personalized to you. It's best if you not only show the benefits of the school or what enticed you, but also how it's going to help you in the future, and probably how it's going to help you once you come back to your home country. This will become slightly important later. We'll come back to that. A variation of why X college is being frequently asked, especially in Dhaka, and it was asked to me as well, is why US? Why US over other countries? There are, say, countries such as Canada, which offers great education as well and has many opportunities. Why do you want to go to US over Canada? This is a question that is fairly common right now, and you should be prepared to answer this as well. Your answer can vary from how US has a liberal arts education, which is unlike anywhere in the world. This is an amazing answer that has been successfully been used by many people, and this actually works because this is true. The liberal arts curriculum is unique and actually helps. You can talk about how there's professors in the US are amazing, how the degree from America is actually more valued on your home country. For me, it's Bangladesh. So you can mention that. Whatever works, but be prepared for this answer as well. Now, a lesson. Why do visa officers ask did you choose X college? What's the benefit of them getting to know this? It's because if you can give them a coherent answer and show that you actually have a passion and want to go to that college, then it specifically shows them that you are not going to US just to just finish education somewhere and settle, but you are going there to study, you are going there to immerse yourself in the culture and actually learn something rather than having an intention of settling. So that's why they usually ask this why X college question. The second question is a question people fret about the most. It's fine, you probably shouldn't fret about it this much, but it's worrying for many people, understandable, to prepare yourself for this answer anyway. The second question is simple, is that how are you going to finance your education? Now, for some people, your scholarship or your financial aid covers the whole deficit, your whole living cost, living expenses, everything. If that's the case, then just mention them. Just mention the visa officer that, as you can see, my university has offered me a full ride, full scholarship, a full financial aid that's going to help me afford the education that I received. It's best if you can also add some other nuances, such as also if it's needed, if it's an emergency, my mother, my father earns X and Y amount of money, has savings of X and Y amount, and can help me in those cases as well. This strengthens your case a lot significantly. But secondly, it's more important for most people, you won't have a full ride and you will have at least some sort of deficit that you need to show that you can afford. In this case, you have to specifically show them that you have a plan and your family or your sponsor has a plan to sponsor you. So the best way to answer is simple. So you say who is going to sponsor you, and then you probably, if you want, add their designation, what they do, if they're a businessman, if what their occupation is, and then you include their yearly salary. It's best if you say it in dollars. It's fine if you tell it in local currency as well. If you have other income, such as through rent, such as interest income, such as investment income, you can mention this here as well. Maybe mention it individually, or just say his total incomes or her total income is X amount. And then you can also add that also at the same time they have savings of X $1,000, or in your local currency, this much amount that is being saved that can be used on my education as well. If you have all of this figured out, if you answer it beautifully, and if the values are actually high enough for the visa officer to think that yes, this guy can actually go ahead and afford his education, then you should be absolutely 100% good. Now, again, why do visa officers ask this question? It's because if you can't afford it, then either one of two things can happen. You may fall into illegal work off campus to sustain your education and may not focus. This is not an ideal situation. They do not want that. But secondly, and more importantly, it also means that you are just sifting through your savings, just using up all of your savings and just ripping off your family for some reason to go to the US and probably to settle, or some reason, for whatever reason. This is a red flag that the US visa officers do not want to see, do not love, and that's why it's very important to sort your finances out and show that you are financially capable. It's very important that the savings account that you will show will contain at least 1 year of expenses that you will incur in the United States. So 1 year should be the bare minimum that you should have of savings. The third question, and it's the easiest and also the most trickiest question. The question is, what are you going to do once you finish your education? The visa officers want to hear that you want to come back to your home country and have ties to your home country. They do not want to listen that you have intention of working there into the US, or you have intention of doing whatever, like nothing related to the US. They just want to see your ties in the country. Now, your answers can be that your family is in your home country, so you want to come here to home country. It could be that you want to come back to Bangladesh and open a startup and you like the technology scene here. It could be that you want to come back to your home country and be a professor and do research in X or Y university because you love them. There are lots of variety of answers that you can do. There are lots of successful answers. You can see them in the ebook that I will link down below. But the point is simple. They want to hear you coming back to your home country and show that you have zero intention of settling. Now, in some scenarios, you will have relatives in the US. It can be your father, it can be any of your relatives. If they ask you questions about that, just be as plain simple as possible. You have no intention of settling, because you don't, even if you have any intention of settling, because you don't. So just be plain and simple and be confident that you have zero intention of settling. You just want to go there and study, come back and give a concrete plan. So in my case, my answer was, I love the technology scene here and I want to come back to Bangladesh and open a startup soon, hopefully. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Now, we have delved into all the questions, but the most important part is it's very important for you to stay confident in while giving all of these answers. If you get a bit nervous, they ask you what are your questions or what are your plans after graduating, and if you become a bit nervous, your voice shakes up, some will see this as a red flag and will probably just reject you, because they always err on the side of caution. If they have get any hint that you may settle or there are any red flags on you, they will just simply reject you. So it's very important for you to stay confident, because there is nothing to fear about. Stay confident, prep your answers, and you'll be good. Now, a very common question is, fine, it's fine, I answer all of these questions, but what documents do I need to carry? Now, there are a few documents that are must. You should carry them always. They are a must, and the embassy has strictly said you have to carry all of these documents. I'll link them, I'll show them right here, right now. These are the documents as of today, as of I'm videoing this, they are required. Now, what about other documents? They mentioned nothing else. They just mentioned that other supporting documents you may bring. Now, what are those other supporting documents? The first supporting documents, the one they usually want to see, is in 30% of all cases, is the bank statement, the savings that your family has. Then income statement of your family, then your SAT score breakdown, your income tax return. These are also very less frequently asked for. Now, there are a few other documents. I will also give a list down here that people take. I took, but generally in 99.9% of cases, they do not want to see them. The most common document that they want to see is bank statement, but they'll only see it in probably 20% of all interviews, and less frequently now in COVID-19 when they are trying to reduce the amount of documents that they take. So your I-20 and your passport is literally the only document that they see in 80% of all interviews. All other, some one or two documents they want to see sometimes in some cases. So it always depends on your interview, on your circumstance, but in general, always try to keep the documents you think is important, and just keep them for the sake of mental clarity, and by chance if they do ask for them, just show them. That's fine. In general, documents are not as important as answering them confidently, as preparing your answers and giving them beautifully. I will give a whole list of documents that people generally take down in that description down below. Alright, this is the overall overview of how any US visa interview goes, how you should answer. I will probably make more videos about how you should answer them, some different tips and tricks that should help you ace the US visa interview. But for now, this is how the interview goes, how you should ace it, what they generally ask, how you should answer them, what they generally look for. This should be a general good guidance. If this helped you, please do give a thumbs up and subscribe and share it to your friends. I'll be indebted and very, very happy. See you in the next video, and see this playlist and check out my channel. Goodbye.